Hello, I'm Carl at Trident Fly Fishing. Today we're going to tie Cheech's low-fat minnow, and it's done in colors to match Blue Gill. It presents a great baitfish pattern, and it's translucent when wet. This fly will fool even the most finicky of fish. Oh, here's the fly in the vise. The hook we're going to use today is a Kona BGH. It's a size 2. It's got a nice wide gap and a wicked point. And our thread is some Danville's 6/0 in white. I'll start our thread a little bit behind the hook eye and wrap back to the bend of the hook. Here we're going to tie in our first material, and that's going to be just some hairline strung Marabou blood quill in white. Don't need a lot, just tear some away from the stem. Wet it a little bit with our fingers so that it's more manageable, and it's going to be just a tad longer than the hook, I think. Wet the material a little bit, it cooperates much better. And the next color is some strung blood quill Marabou in the color olive. We're going to tie that on top of the white, and we want about twice as much as we had for the white. Oh, to make it manageable, I'm probably going to have to tie that in 2 clumps. Marabou gets everywhere, and I think we'll tie in just a little bit more. This is Hairline's Cactus Chenille, color's pearl, and the size is medium. You could also use small. And we'll prepare it by just pulling a little bit of the material away from the core to give us a tie-in point. Just a few wraps, maybe 3. 1, 2, 3. Tie that off. So this minnow has a little bit of orange in it, and we're going to tie in some Chocolate's Chenille orange in the size medium. Strip a little material away from the core. Create a tie-in point. This is a fairly heavy chenille, so it's not going to take a lot of wraps. 1.5 or 2 is plenty. And we'll pull that material back and wrap over it some to help it lay down back behind the hook. There. Now we're going to tie in one more small clump of olive-colored Marabou. And we want that to lay back about even with the end of the tail. And our next material is going to be some Senyo's laser dub in the color olive. And we're going to tie that in on top of the fly. Long, stringy kind of dubbing. And we want to get the ends kind of married up. We're going to tie this in on top of the hook, right behind the hook eye. Next is going to be some Senyo's laser dubbing in white for the belly of the fly. We'll do the same thing, about the same amount of material. Do your best to keep the colors separate. Now we take the olive and fold that back. 2 wraps to help it lay down, and then the white. And see if we can't brush some of that back and get it behind the hook. And you can manipulate the material just a little bit to eliminate any bald spots before you finally tie it down. And now a whip finish. Seat your knot, cut our thread. And we're ready for the eyes. These are Fish Skulls living eyes. They're 5mm, so right about, I think they're a fire orange color. I like to stick these on the back of my hand so they don't escape me. And I like to initially hold them in place with just a dab of super glue gel. Luckily, that gel gives you some working time. Now to help hold everything in place, we're going to use some Loon's UV resin. This is the thin. Get this to soak down in well behind the eyes. You can also use it to help shape the body of your fly. If you pull the material back, like so, before you hit it with the light, it will help shape the head of the fly. Now some thick finish. A little over the eyes. I think my bottle's almost empty. Having a rotary vise simplifies this. It tends to even out all of that resin. Once you're happy with the shape, you can hit it with the light. And that resin tends to be kind of sticky. So Loon makes a product called Flow. The thick is still very hard. It just seems sticky to the touch. And this Flow, placed over the top of that, which is very thin, will eliminate that stickiness. Alright, now a little bit of color for the fly. Got a Copic marker in black, and Blue Gills have a dot right behind their eyes. Like so, and maybe a few stripes down the back. And there we have it, our fly's finished. Really looks a lot different when it's wet in the water. I have a fly here that we dipped in a glass of water a little while ago. Give you an idea of what it looks like when it's wet. You can see that it's much slimmer, much more of a baitfish shape to it, and it's very translucent. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep current with all of the new content here at Trident Fly Fishing, and I hope to see you again next time.